They say the gods remember everything, that the rivers carry secrets in their depths, and that every evil deed returns to its owner like a lost child finding its way home. I never believed this until I saw what envy can do to a sister's heart. My name is Nenena, and this is the story of how greed swallowed my sister Adaeze, and how the river that should have taken me gave me back to tell this tale. The sun was setting over our village of Umuada when it happened, the kind of evening when the air smells of firewood and the laughter of children playing oga carries through the compound. Adaeze and I had gone to the big river, Iukwa we called it, to fetch water for Mama's evening meal. I was singing, my clay pot balanced on my head, my wrapper tied firmly around my waist in the way our mothers taught us. I was getting married the next day. Chukudi, a palm wine tapper from Umuna village, had sent word through the elders that he wanted my hand. He was tall and handsome, they said, with strong arms and a smile that could make the hardest heart soften. Mama had been so happy when the message came. She danced around our compound, her aged legs moving like those of a young girl, her voice lifted in thanksgiving to Chuku. But Adaeze did not dance. She was my elder sister by 3 years, beautiful, with skin like fresh palm oil and eyes that shone like polished uli. But no suitor had come for her. The young men of our village would greet her, admire her, but none sent a messenger to our father's compound, and with each passing season, I watched something hard grow inside her heart like a stone. Adaeze, I called to her that evening as we filled our pots. Tomorrow, when Chukudi comes, you will help me tie my beads, eh? You know how to make them sit well on the waist. She did not answer. She stood at the river's edge, staring at the water as it rushed past, dark and powerful. The river was swollen from the rains, angry and deep. Sister, I moved closer to her. Are you well? She turned to me then, and I should have seen it. I should have seen the darkness in her eyes, the way her lips pressed together like someone holding terrible words inside. But I was young and foolish and full of tomorrow's joy. Come, she said softly. Come and see this fish, such a big one. I walked to where she stood, leaning forward to peer into the rushing water. And that is when I felt her hands, strong, desperate hands on my back. The push was sudden, powerful. I did not even have time to scream before the cold water swallowed me whole. I remember the river taking me. I remember my wrapper tangling around my legs, my arms fighting against water that was stronger than any human strength. I remember thinking of Mama, of Chukudi, who I would never meet, of my life ending before it truly began. But the river that should have killed me carried me instead. It dragged me downstream, past our village, past 2 others, and finally threw me onto a bank of rocks where I lay like a broken calabash, coughing water and blood, my body bruised and torn. An old woman found me. Mama Obiageli, they called her. She pulled me to her hut, wrapped me in old wrappers, and fed me hot pepper soup that burned life back into my chest. For a day and a night, I lay on her mat, drifting between this world and the next. When I finally had strength to speak, I told her what happened. Nuan says, evil done in secret will always come to light. The river saved you for a reason. Meanwhile, in our compound, Adaeze returned home alone as darkness fell. She entered Mama's hut with my empty clay pot and a lie ready on her tongue. Mama, she said, setting down the pot, Adaeze said to tell you she's going to Umuna to see Chukudi's family. She wanted to greet them before the marriage ceremony tomorrow. Mama looked up from the fire, where she was preparing my bride price meal. She went alone at this hour? She insisted, Mama. You know how excited she has been. Mama nodded, though worry creased her face. It is not proper for a bride to do such things alone, but perhaps she took the road through the market. She will be safe." The night passed. Adaeze lay on our shared mat, staring at the darkness, listening to Mama's restless movements in the next room. She did not sleep. How could she? She had tried to kill her own sister. When morning broke, with the sound of roosters in the village coming along,